are so honored to have the star herself here with us, Emmy-nominated actress Melora Hardin, and Golden Vanity's co-writer and producer, Taylor Minas. We're honored to have the first one-person film here at the festival, and for its theatrical debut, it's nominated for Best Picture and Best Actress, and we can all see why. It's what I call a acting masterclass. So let's jump in. I know we have a pretty full theater, so I wanted to ask you all if you have any special guests that you want to recognize.
We have many special guests here. I would love it, actually, if everybody who worked on the film could stand up. We have our costume designer, Dina Appel, who made that incredible dress. Thank you, Gina. We have real fabric from the 1960s that she got. We have Tanya Verna, who did my incredible makeup, helped me make that person come alive. I mean, I'm really an actor who works a lot from the outside in, so you both, along with Gene Weber, who did my wig, were so important to this character and making it so I could look in the mirror and see her every morning when we started. Bryce, our DP, was also integral in this particular film because we were dancing. We were like dancing partners. He was in my face and absolutely disappeared in these very, very intimate moments. I think Taylor and I both just want to acknowledge Max Abram, who's not here, who lives in the UK, so he couldn't make it, but he is just absolutely, his heart and his soul and his blood and his brain and his spirit are up there with me and with us. And he and Taylor wrote this beautiful, beautiful script that came to me along with a beautiful, beautiful letter imploring me to take this part seriously and read it, and they had done nothing before this. And I read this script and I thought, wow, these are talented young people. And I set up a meeting with them and sat down with them, and they were both as extraordinary as people as their script, as far as being receptive and open, intelligent, warm, and collaborative. And I thought, yeah, I'm gonna do this.
I do. I have a bunch of family here. I have my best friend Whitney that flew in from Chicago, which is pretty incredible. And, my wife, very close friend Katie, and my family that were part of this from the start. There's absolutely no way that I could have made it happen without them. So very grateful. And your parents too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really,
my parents.
It's really incredible that they're here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom and dad are here, 84 and 94. And it's really true. I really do come from an acting family. Unlike Mabel, I had a good experience as a child actor. I started acting at 6 years old. But I had really amazing stage parents and parents that taught me about craft and about artistry and about integrity and professionalism and loved me regardless of my success or failure.
That's amazing. So we're going to start with some questions from the audience. Don't be shy. If you have a question you would like to ask, please raise your hand. I'll call on you, and just please project. Yes, I love that.
Hello. Thank you, Taylor, for inviting me and my fellow colleague. We work with Taylor. So my question is, I wanted to know why you chose the period that you chose for this piece. There's so many time periods that you could have placed this character in, and so I'm curious as to why you placed them in the period of time that you did. Thank you.
Hi, thank you. It's a great question. I think Max and I were very fascinated with the old Hollywood system. It was particularly insufferable for women And we came across some tapes, actually real tapes that Judy Garland recorded not too long before she died, and that's what inspired this film. We found these tapes, and they are, hilarious and they're horrific, and she, is alone in her mansion trying to set the record straight. And we got just fascinated and just started doing all of this research and watching some old movies and watching a bunch of old famous movies that we've all heard of, but when's the last time that we saw them? And we rewatched them and realized that there's this very strange thing going on where we were putting these women up on a pedestal, but the way that we actually were treating them in real life and the roles that they were portraying were just horrific. They, were constantly having to just be, brought down as low as possible and just humiliated, and then, had to suffer the consequences of fame with it, and as we saw, all the rest of it. And so I think we were just really, we were just fascinated, and we just felt like we had to tell the story. And we actually wrote it with Melora in mind, which is wild, because you always write things with somebody in mind, it just helps. But Max and I were just I don't know, I think we must have been watching The Office or something. I don't know. And we just were obsessed with you. And, we never get you. But, you can dream. And
you wrote a really beautiful letter.
Well, thank you. So hopefully that answers your question.
Thank you.
Yes, right here.
Hi, thank you so much. It's kind of a two question, is that okay?
Absolutely.
So for the writer, did this start off as a stage play?
You asked if this started as a stage play, and it didn't actually. Max and I both we love theater a lot, and we kind of were very interested in the idea of combining the mediums of, the immediacy of theater with the intimacy of cinema. And so we thought this was such an incredible, we go to plays together all the time, and we never had the money to sit where we could really see the people acting, and so we were let's do a play, but get the camera in there, and have it be a character. But yeah, but maybe one day, we'll see.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, talking about
And
that.
that's fantastic, by the way. I'm a big theater playwright myself. So. And then for the actor, what an incredible performance. I want to know, what was that? I was sitting and I'm thinking, to keep us intrigued and engaged, I was engaged the entire time. And a lot of it's the writing and the directing, but really, your performance was incredible. So I wanted to know, what was that like, the preparation, and your intimacy with your DP was obvious, and the long shots following. So what was that like, going in and out of those arcs? I mean, you nailed so many levels, and it was really mind-blowing.
Thank you, that's so nice. Yeah, it was a really, really fun and deep rehearsal process. We did 2 weeks of rehearsing. We had a space that was an apartment that I think your family owned, and gave us one that was empty, and we basically taped off the set that we knew what we were gonna have, but we obviously couldn't get into that house except for those 5 days that we filmed. And Max and I just went in there, shut the door, and we just played, and we worked, we laughed, we cried, and we just had so much fun. It was a beautiful, beautiful collaboration. I really wish he was here, because, I've told him this, it's not that he doesn't know, but I just want him to hear it over and over again. I've been in this business, all my life, and I can count that kind of a collaboration on one hand. I've been in numerous things, and that kind of collaboration doesn't come along very often. And it was just extraordinary. Not only his intuitive nature as a director, but also his incredible ability to encourage, support, inspire, and be surprised, be a great audience at the same time as he was a great director. He was a great audience, you know. As an actor doing something like this, you know, you really need someone who's gonna be like, oh my God, that was fucking amazing. When you're trying shit, you know, and also be like, you know, oh, that was crap, wasn't it? Yeah, let's try something else. We had so much fun. I mean, it really was so joyful, and I just loved every minute of it. So that was the preparation. And then when we did it, we were really ready, and we did a lot of 45-minute long takes. And then I would say, I think I need a break. And I would go up to my little room, and I would sit down and have a little snack and have some water and maybe meditate and maybe have a nap. Come back down 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, and everyone would be like, okay, let's do it again. It was pretty casual and pretty amazing in that regard, and because it was just me and Taylor and Max really that were driving the ship, we were able to really just cue off of everyone, and in particular my energy level, and Bryce too, because he was holding this camera on his shoulder all the time. He was exhausted, and I was exhausted, but we were also energized and turned on, and we were all having a great time playing in the sandbox of movie making.
Yes.
What a tour de force.
Thank you.
I wonder, having seen you in many dramatic comedies, what attracted you to essentially what is a dramatic role?
Well, it's really funny because I have been in the business as long as I have. You know, my mother's here, and she was my stage mom, and I think she would be able to tell you that before The Office, I was thought of as a dramatic actress. Nobody thought I was a comedic actress. And then The Office happened, and now everyone thinks I'm a comedic actress. So, I am an actress. I'm an actor. I do what I do, and I was trained first and foremost by my mother, who is an acting teacher and was and a manager, but then by Stella Adler and Joan Darling and Larry Moss, and starting with my mother, and then going forward with that. The main thing was just everything comes from the same place. Comedy and drama both come from the truth. That's what makes things funny, and that's what makes things moving. And so that's what I'm always looking for. I'm always looking for the deepest truth for the character, what their truth is, what their reality is. And I have empathy, and I really, really want to get into the humanity of every character I ever play, even if the character's despicable. Mabel certainly has despicable things about her. And yet, I understand her, and I love her, and I feel that way about all my characters, you know? So, when you say it's a dramatic, you know, comedy, I would say, yeah, to me it's just, it's the writing, and I'm playing the writing, I'm playing the moments, I'm playing the beats, and there happens to be some pretty funny ones in this one, and some pretty dramatic ones in this one, so I was just playing what was there, you know.
When Max and I watched you in like pure comedies, I think to us it felt like, even to everybody else it's a comedy, but I feel like your character was in a drama. You know? And I often think that like the best comics are incredible dramatic actors. That's just
Okay, we have time for one more question. Top corner, please.
Yeah, I was really curious about the decision to conclude the film with Mabel coherent and lucid and singing that really powerful original number.
Yeah, the decision to end the film on a powerful note.
A lucid moment.
A lucid moment, yeah. I think it was really important to us that, you know, regardless of what Mabel's fate was, you know, she was a force. And the film, I think, reflected that with the song at the end. Like, that was Mabel. And so I think it was really important to us that we ended on a note of strength, because that's who Mabel was. So,
I have something to say
Yeah.
too. I also think, from my perspective, like, she says it quite a few times that she's the best singer, you know, and we kind of get to know this dark side of her, and this humorous side, and this broken side, and this tragic side, and it's really important to see that she really is talented. She was taken advantage of and manipulated and you know, traumatized and, you know, and abused, but she actually was talented, and also probably not talented in some ways. But I really like that there's this last moment where you get to see that, wow, she really can sing, and she really was magnetic, and she really was beautiful, and she really was powerful, and she was fierce and a fighter, and she was doing these inane comedies, you know, over and over in her career, you know, like these just inane things where she's just constantly pining for some idiot's love. And it's just like to see her just being this fierce woman that is in her imagination. I mean, I think we all agreed that this was her perfect moment as she's, you know, dying, that she's just like having her swan song, as it were, and it's a perfect swan song. So it maybe is more perfect than she ever was, really, on screen, probably. Yeah, so that was kind of Taylor liked that answer. So.
Melora Taylor, thank you so much for being here, for sharing your film at the Burbank International Film Festival. We're honored.